Plaintiff Adam Knox moved in with the defendant after answering his ad for a roommate on Craigslist. And despite the fact that Adam is not gay, he had no problem with the defendant being gay. Adam claims he often went to gay bars with the defendant and his boyfriend, but he eventually moved out, and Adam's suing for breach of contract. Defendant Matthew Tankliff says while living with Adam, anytime Adam would bring girls into their apartment, they'd pay more attention to Matthew and his boyfriend than Adam. Matthew denies owing Adam for anything because Adam moved out without giving 30 days notice.
Start with you.
Well, I met Matt on September 2013. I was looking for a place to live downtown in Asheville, North Carolina, and the apartment looked amazing on Craigslist. So I went to the apartment and sat down with Matt, and after briefly introducing ourselves, he sort of let me know that he was gay and that his partner was living in the apartment as well, and he wanted to make sure I was okay with that, being that I'm straight. And I said, that's fine, I'm open-minded, and Asheville is a very progressive place to live. And so after that conversation, I proceeded to move in, and we became fast friends. We went out a couple times. One time, I went to a bar. It was a pool hall. It was a gay pool hall. But I went out with him and his partner and me, and we had a good time. We were out. We were having a good time. A little weird for me being there. I felt a lot of eyes on me. I'm not, when a straight guy walks into a bar, girls aren't usually like, all right, there he is,
They are with me.
Yeah, right. That's
after we're done, can you give me some notes?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. No, but I mean, it was weird. But one guy actually, I'm sitting there taking a shot, and he kind of brushed by me a little bit. I pretty much decided I was done.
You sound paranoid, but go ahead.
Maybe a little bit, but needless to say.
What makes you think if women don't want you, gay men do? They don't want any leftovers. They want the best too.
I understand.
If women don't like you, neither do they. I got news for you. If the women not looking at you when you come in, neither are the gay guys. Go ahead, sir.
No, we hung out a couple of times. Most of the time, we would just hang out in the apartment.
How big was it? Just curious. The
huge.
Apartment.
It was huge.
Okay.
It was good, and generally because of that space, we had a really great relationship, me and the two of them. But
what was it like living there? The environment?
Oh, it was beautiful, modern, and actually Matt had done most of the renovations himself. It was awesome. When I had my friends come over, they would check the space out. It was great. One time I went to a bar. It was a pool hall. It was a gay pool hall. A little weird for me being there. I felt a lot of eyes on me. I'm not, when a straight guy walks into a bar, girls aren't usually like, all right, there he is, They
are with me.
Defendant Matthew Tankliff allowed the plaintiff to move into his apartment, and he claims whenever the plaintiff brought girls home, they'd pay more attention to Matthew and his boyfriend.
Let me hear some background from you.
All right, well, thank you, Your Honor, for hearing this case today. It's true what Adam said. We met each other like that. He moved in. It ended up, we were fast friends. It ended up being like an episode of The New Girl. I don't know if you're familiar with the show, but a young lady moves into an apartment with 3 guys in the city. She just breaks up with somebody. Serial bad dater, can't get anything right in terms of relationships, making one mistake after another.
And they try to hook her up.
Fumbling, yeah, they try and hook her up. Okay, so you're familiar.
Okay, well, that's why they took you to the gay club. Trying to hook you up. You didn't have anybody? Well, you should have been grateful. I'm trying to hook you up. Go ahead. You're a good friend.
Yeah, well,
good roommate.
Yeah, well, everybody got along great, but it was funny because I think he probably learned more from me and my boyfriend than he did from his own experiences with women, and we used to joke about that quite a bit. He came home with a girl one day, and me and my boyfriend were in the kitchen hanging out, having a couple of drinks, and she came in and met us and started talking, and before you know it, the 3 of us were all chatting up in the kitchen, having an awesome time, while Adam was in the living room sort of like trying to figure out what was happening there, how the 2 gay guys were getting the attention of the girl he just brought home.
About to take his woman.
Oh, no, I was thankful.
Yeah,
I was stoked.
That's what happened. You keep messing with these gay guys, they take your woman. You think what they want to do, though, you better leave them alone.
So it's not a far cry.
Huh?
I said I've dated women in the past, so that's not a far cry at all, But, another time we were at a bar, and it was an Irish bar. We had a couple drinks there, and Adam was hitting on the waitress. She wasn't feeling it, you know, as usual, and so she sort of shut him down, you know, and he didn't like that at all. So he got really upset, insulted the food, you know.
She was very pretty, but the food was terrible. I'm Irish Catholic, and we have family recipes, and their food was. I mean, the place has since closed. I mean, the food really was awful. It wasn't.
All right, tell me about this lawsuit.
Well, so I gave Matt $550 as a deposit up front to move in, as well as first month's rent. And being that we're both entrepreneurial, I also loaned him $250 to renovate a small apartment next door to ours. And we have a breakdown right here. It totals to $800 that I owed him.
All right.
And so as the project trying to renovate that place was supposed to progress and it wasn't, I sort of started getting on him, hey, can I get this money back? And we were sort of under the impression that I would get the money back once we started making some money out of the place, but we weren't going to make money if the project never finished. And I think that began to sort of strain our relationship, and so I said, hey, you know what? I just want the money back. I don't want anything to do with this. Just go ahead and give me my money back, and we'll just call it a day. I never got the money while I was living there, and so March rolls around, and I loaned him the money in December. Still haven't gotten the money, and I'm like, you know what, man, I'm just going to go ahead and move out the end of March. And so April 1st, I was out of the building. And he said, hey, it's going to take me 30 days to give you your deposit back. And so April, you know, there's no communication for the entire month of April. And I still haven't gotten any money. I haven't got my deposit. I haven't gotten any money from the loan back. And so at this point, I'm owed $800. I'm kind of worried. We're trying to communicate. He's not really communicating that well. And so we met May the 5th, and he gave me $100. And we also discussed that I had some back utilities that I owed him from when I moved out and didn't pay. And so that $120 plus the $100 he gave me brought down the amount that he owed me to $508. And that day, he actually signed a promissory note saying, I recognize...
All right, let's see that. And that's what you're suing for, the $580.
Yeah.
And, sir, what do you want to tell me?
Yeah, he's suing me for the $580, but what he's not saying is that he didn't give me 30 days notice, like most people are supposed to do.
30 days notice to do what?
To vacate the premises, which was discussed and part of the deal. So because the relationship with the business went sour, you know, that sort of facilitated the moving out of the apartment. So he didn't give me the proper notice. And then in addition to that...
You said that was part of the deal.
Yeah, well, it was part of the deal to
well, now the main deal is this note you signed.
Correct.
Whatever you all discussed.
True.
The last deal you all had is in writing, and it says you owe $580.
Correct.
That you intend to pay $580.
Correct. I signed that, and it was under duress. We had met at the
He threatened to do what to you?
He didn't threaten me, but he was calling me quite a bit. It was harassment. I was in touch with him, and we did make arrangements to get paid. I did give him $100 that day, and I did sign a promissory note because I wanted to squash this.
You believe?
Well, I wanted to squash it at the time. I did not believe at the time that I did because he.
So you only gave him $100 to squash it?
Well, I gave him $100 because I wanted to make this whole thing go away. He didn't make the proper notice wasn't given, and in addition, he had a dog that was in the apartment.
No,
we're not talking about notice. We're talking about this contract.
Correct.
Whatever you're talking about, that's gone.
She came in and met us and started talking, and before you know it, the three of us were all chatting up in the kitchen, having an awesome time. While Adam was in the living room, sort of like trying to figure out what was happening there. You know, how the two gay guys were getting the attention of the girl.
About to take his woman.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I was thankful.
Yeah,
I was stoked.
That's what happened. Keep messing with these gay guys. They take your woman.
Defendant Matthew Tankliff allowed the plaintiff to move into his apartment, and he claims whenever the plaintiff brought girls home, they'd pay more attention to Matthew and his boyfriend.
So you're saying you did not pay this $580 because what?
Because he did not give me the proper vacation.
Okay, and as you see, it doesn't mention that. It just mentions you'll pay him $580. Doesn't say any condition that you're referring to. So you have no real legal defense. Judgment for the plaintiff, $580. Have a good day, gentlemen.
I just want to squash it, man. I'm glad, you know, I just hope we can be friends at some point.
I agree. I mean, Asheville's not that big a place, so.
Well, we should definitely not go into business together, but we can definitely be friends.
I agree with that.